sold in shops. I don't know exactly how people got them, because my dad used to get them when I was a baby, and obviously I can't very remember very much of what. I don't know very much. Babies don't know very much about what's going on in life, really, do they? But there was a series of. They were published by Marshall-Cavendish from 1969 to 70, and this was the first edition. As you can see, there's a picture of a family wearing no clothes on the front cover, and the first article in it comes under the category of living body, and it's called "Your Heart Is Like This." And there's a few diagrams, a couple of biological diagrams of hearts there. Bit of another diagram there. It says here, for surgeons, the heart is a special challenge. Until very recently, the failure of this vital pump meant the end of life. Then, in the late 1960s, the possibility of giving a critically ill patient a second heart became a matter of worldwide controversy. The operation, in itself straightforward, was often followed by fatal rejection of a new organ by the body's own protective devices, and many questioned the right of doctors to perform such operations at all. The American patient above, the new heart held here ready for insertion, brought extra days of life, work and happiness in the human community. Looking at it, you think it was a baby being delivered by the cesarean section, but it's actually not. It's actually a diagram of a heart a transplant operation. And second article in the magazine is understanding sexual attraction. Third article in it is first days of an unborn child. As you can see, they've just shown you a photograph of an embryo. There's another diagram there. It says here, a lifeline, the umbilical cord connects the 10-week-old embryo to the placenta. Protected by a fluid-filled sac, the embryo is nourished by this route. Across the membrane of the placenta, food from the mother's bloodstream sieves through into the bloodstream of the embryo. Waste products are expelled into the other direction. At 11 weeks, the first reflex movements are made, and that's the photograph of a developing baby at 11 weeks there. The next article is answers to anxiety. The next article after that is on. I'm not been telling you what categories these articles come under. This article comes under the category of medicine of man, and it's called "Victories in an Endless War." Next article comes under the heading of the category of enemies of man, and it's called Are you digging a grave? Are you digging a grave with your teeth? While when 1/3 of the world goes hungry, another third eats you unwisely and too well. Understanding the ways that food serves the body is the first step to halting the damage which your dinner may do you. So, and I actually got the full set of the Book of Life from eBay. We always used to have them in my mum and dad's old house where I used to live. Well, for a long time, but I think they must have all just got taken down to a charity shop. This is part. That was the first part. This is part 3 here. There's a picture of a somewhat bigger baby in the womb there, on the front, and the first article in it comes under the category of human mind. It's called "The Shape of Personality." Your personality gives you a distinct identity. It makes you the unique individual that you are and makes you different from the other 4,000 million people on Earth. Well, at that particular time, there must have only been 4,000 million people on Earth. I think it's it's 7 or 8 million now, the population now, isn't it? Little artistic illustration here. No, if you're interested in reading these magazines, you can find them on it. People sell them on eBay. Here's an interesting one article called "The Power of Your Brain." Power of your brain. That's it. From all parts of the body, impulses flow into the brain up the spinal cord. Out of it flow messages which will direct our actions. A preliminary processing takes place in the brainstem. The balance of muscular coordination important to a life lived in 3 dimensions are controlled by the cerebellum, but man's mental faculties originate in the cerebrum. Through the study of people whose brains have been injured, the areas related with specific functions have been mapped. We see at the back of the cerebrum, and special areas govern the interpretation of sensory messages and the initiation of voluntary movements. A vital functional link is that between the hypothalamus and the pituitary gland. Their joint action controls the pattern of pituitary hormone secretion. And there's another diagram showing different areas of the brain here. You see some signs see these diagrams, don't you? And the next article comes under the category of Chag and his world. It's called "Questions for the Doctor." There's a picture of a pregnant woman there. It says a biology lesson. Part of sex education for the American classroom, this type of model clearly demonstrates the position of the 8-month fetus in the womb. And it is that same fetus here that was featured on that's on the front cover of it. It's here. It says, above the 4.5-month fetus, still small enough for a comparative freedom within the womb, sucks his thumb. His transparent skin reveals the patterns of blood vessels all over his body. Another article here. Making sense of symptoms. Picture photograph of a tongue there. Some more illustrations here. Article here. What comes under the category of life together, what love is like for men. Another one comes under the next one. It comes under next article comes under enemies of man. It's called Who Goes Hungry. See that diagram there? It says that this child will die. Found by Biafran troops after a Nigerian bombing attack. The terrible condition of I'm Erdo's skin, hair and bones tells a too familiar story. Some more. Those are the back pages of it. The two back pages of it featuring out sort of alphabetical listings of different subtopics and anyway, that part one. The next one here got is part 18. It says on the front, on the subject on the front cover is, it says, does the face fit? First article in here comes onto the category of a child in his world, and it's called Making Friends. Anyway, I'll be back with another review of a few more Book of Life, copies of Book of Life magazines soon. Anyway, bye for now.